Daniels, and Cohen said, no, ma'am. It's right in line with the prosecutor's theory of the case that after the Access Hollywood tape, Trump believed his campaign could not take another sex scandal.
Cohen testified he pleaded guilty to federal charges, he said, because of his loyalty to Mr. Trump. This is ABC News.
Memorial Day is nearly here. Time to fire up for grilling season. Head to omahasteaks.com for the Memorial Day sale with 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off grilling favorites like tender steaks, beefy burgers, and much more. Plus, use promo code QUALITY at checkout to save an extra $30. Their unconditional money-back guarantee backs every purchase. At omahasteaks.com, use code QUALITY at checkout for an extra $30 off. Minimum order may be required.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR.
Have you ever met a single person in your life that enjoys paying taxes? No, no one does. If you can't sleep at night because you have a huge problem with the IRS, I've got some free advice for you. This service is strictly limited to individuals that owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes. And if you qualify, we can guarantee that you won't be writing a big fat check to the IRS, or our services cost you nothing. The first 100 people that call today will get a free tax consultation worth $500. Stop worrying about your IRS problem. We can help you, we promise. Call the tax doctor right now. I mean right now, to learn more.
800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. 800-649-0142. That's 800-649-0142.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare Studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Oh, righty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Tuesday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the McFarland Show. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Darren and Justin live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Orange Damon is alongside for the ride. We got a great show for you. We're gonna hit on a lot of things. Talked to our buddy Alex Doherty to be in the second hour of the program. He covers the Predators for the Tennessean. So things have kind of wrapped up, even though they will have their meeting with the scouts tomorrow, kind of a pre-draft thing that they do. You know, the Titans do that. I've done all of those over the years, and nothing against those folks.
Sure.
They're great at what they do, but you're not going to get a whole lot.
No. No, that's the whole point. The point is not to tell you. The point is for them to meet together and tell each other. You're not included. You know, you just get to testify to the fact that they met.
So after doing them for many, many times over the years, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pass.
Yeah.
But that's cool. That's cool.
No.
It's okay.
It is okay.
It's okay.
As long as they pick the right person, or at least the person they think is right, then, we'll figure it out from there.
Look, these cicadas are getting on my nerves, Justin.
Yeah, oh yeah.
They're getting loud. They're in the way, and they're kind of messing, with our stuff.
They're not going away anytime soon.
I need them to go away.
Got another month or so.
Oh,
sorry.
Really?
Hate to break it to you. Yeah.
Man, they have no boundaries at all.
No, oh no. They're everywhere.
They don't know their line. They cross it and they don't care.
They don't care if you kill them.
They're jerks.
They just the 10 more will come back, right behind them.
You're right.
They just don't.
They just seem like they don't care
at all.
Whatever.
It's whatever happens. If we're waiting 17 years, they get here, then whatever happens, happens.
I went to Hadley Park Saturday, and a whole field of them was up there by the tree. It was like just all over the place.
Is this at the Strawberry Festival?
No, this was in Nashville.
Okay.
At this one, but no, okay. I wish they had been at the Strawberry Festival. Been more exciting than what we saw. But anyway.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow, shots fired. Man.
They made more noise. They made more noise at the Strawberry Festival to get.
Man,
the strawberries
coming out.
The strawberries were good, but nah.
What were you expecting?
Wow.
Well, I mean, you say festival, I'm expecting, music and live music and
people feeding you strawberries.
Well, I just expected a little fun going on. It was like walk around, see the vendors, and
that was it.
Yeah,
get a bucket of strawberries.
That's what it is. Yes.
No, that's not the type of festival I'm used to going to. But anyway.
Well, yeah, you need to switch
carnival,
to a different type of festival. No, that's not. It's not a carnival.
It's called the Strawberry Carnival.
It's not a strawberry party.
But anyway, I saw the cicadas. That would have been more fun than what we saw.
Man, I just flippantly threw that in there because he said he told us he was going to the Strawberry Festival.
Okay,
and,
all right.
And he just comes out, kicking.
What kind of festival
right
do you go to that just don't have got one little country band in the corner back there? I mean, what do you do?
I have proper expectations for what I'm going to. That's all. I just understand that this is what they do. This is what's going on up
walking.
here.
Were you expecting amusement rides? What were you expecting?
But I've seen some festivals with that. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Some strawberry festivals with that?
I don't know.
I think he was thinking more of a carnival or some type of party. I don't know what
Did you want somebody to guess your weight for a prize? What were you looking for?
I just expected more, I guess.
Okay.
You were expecting Memphis in May. That's what you were expecting.
Pretty much.
No. This is not Bill Street. No, that's your fault. If you went to Portland expecting Bill Street,
well, yeah,
you went the wrong direction. You need to go on I-40 and go about 200 miles back toward the Mississippi River and jump off.
I going to Portland. It was going to be Memphis and Bill Street.
No, it wasn't going to be Bill Street.
I knew that. It was going to be nothing
That's
close
what
to
you're expecting. You're expecting Memphis in May.
Yeah,
and
that's called a you problem.
And then we got put out of the Pizza Hut because we were waiting for the parade at 4 o'clock.
What?
Anyway,
what?
It's a long story.
What is happening? Forget I ever mentioned the
Okay,
Strawberry
I'm sorry.
Festival.
All right.
But
I will never
It's
bring
okay.
that up again ever on the show.
Jeez.
The cicadas were
I mean, we just went down a gigantic
Put
cicada
out
hole,
the
man.
Pizza Hut.
all right, yeah.
Put out the
Because
Pizza
of the
Hut.
parade was getting ready to start.
Yes. Okay. Well, never mind. All right. You know what? That's
But
okay.
the cicadas are loud.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
they are.
Hey,
Circle
but
back
Moving right
around.
along. Moving along.
Circle
But I
back
have
around.
noticed that they get quiet when it's rainy, like the last few days when it's rainy.
Yes.
They get real quiet. Why is that, Justin?
They don't chirp in the rain.
They don't?
No.
I noticed
It's
that.
more like a gurgling.
Yes.
Okay.
It's not, because well, never mind. But they don't chirp in the rain. Let's just say it that way.
That joke went over, David.
No, I don't want to start. I don't want to start.
He's still
I
thinking
don't
about
wanna,
Bill Street.
I don't want to. Man, now I am too. Now you got.
Memphis, yeah, really.
Now I'm in Memphis
Still
in
got
May.
a couple of more weeks to go for that.
If you want to drive out there for that, go for it.
All right, let's
Darren's
change the
never been to
gears.
Memphis.
Please.
I've never even been to Memphis. No, that's not true.
That's
not true.
Don't worry about it. You're not missing.
It's not.
Don't do it. Don't. No. We're not going to start. We're not going to start the Memphis versus Nashville thing again. Let's not do that. Nobody
All right.
wins, and it stinks.
Okay.
All right, stay with us. I promise. We're switching gears now. Damon's
Please.
going to run everybody off. I saw Warren Sharp. I've told you about him on X. I saw an interesting tweet that he put out there in the last 24 hours.
Okay.
So yesterday we talked about Jared Goff, and the Lions have they have planted a lot of money trees, and they have come full bloom, and they have found a lot of money in Detroit. They're paying out everybody.
Yes.
They are very excited about what just happened this past season, and they are,
Good for them.
They have huge expectations.
Trying to keep their core together.
Yeah, for this year. So they gave Jared Goff $170 million guaranteed. Here's the crazy part. When I brought up Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
By the way, do you know how old Jared Goff is? You haven't looked this up, have you?
No, I haven't.
Yeah. Take a guess.
Yeah, let's see. Jared Goff. He's about 30, isn't he?
He's 29 years old. He's not even 30 years old now.
Okay, yeah.
Doesn't it feel like he's been playing forever?
It does, but, yeah, that's about what I thought. I said 30, so for
He's
29,
29
yeah, that's
years
about
old,
right.
man.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah.
So
Because he's not as old as Cousins or
Cousins
Tannehill.
mid-30s.
Yeah. He was the generation right after Cousins and Tannehill in that group.
Here's the crazy thing.
Right.
Now, it all worked out for the Rams, right? They got their Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford.
Did.
But the Lions were able to capitalize on getting Goff and a bunch of a bunch of draft picks.
Yes.
That they have done quite well with.
They've done well. They've built their core.
Just because you get draft picks doesn't mean that you're going to change your roster.
You don't have to pick the right people.
Like
now.
you have to, right. You still have to go out there and pick the right people.
Mm-hmm.
And they have done that with those picks. But here's the crazy thing that Warren Sharp tweeted out or whatever, posted on X. Since that trade,
yes,
Jared Goff and Matthew Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Which one you want to start with, Goff or Stafford?
Give me Goff.
Goff has how many wins since that trade?
How many wins?
Yeah, just throw out a number. I know this is just
that's
random.
21.
Very good. Okay, 24.
Okay.
Very well done. How about Matthew Stafford?
Well, they had a couple of down years here and there. Hey, let's go 18.
24.
Really? Okay.
Jared Goff's completion percentage.
Completion percentage for Jared Goff, 62.
You're doing well with this game.
Okay.
66%.
Well, I'm still on. That's
Matthew Stafford's completion percentage.
64.
66%.
Okay, stay the same.
Jared Goff turnovers.
Turnovers. Oh wow, I'm not gonna get this. Let's see. Interceptions or turnovers. I guess fumbles count too. So let's go at about 15 or 16.
41.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Well,
okay.
the trade was in 2021.
My bad. All right.
Matthew Stafford turnovers.
So is he 2 at 41?
41.
Okay. I'm starting to catch a theme here.
Do you catch you catch where this is going?
Yeah, I do.
Jared Goff, let's break it up just a little bit.
Sure.
Jared Goff passing touchdowns.
Jared Goff passing touchdowns.
Since the trade.
Let's go 65.
78.
78. Okay.
Matthew Stafford, 75.
Okay.
Jared Goff has been sacked 89 times. 89 times. Matthew Stafford has been sacked 88 times.
Okay.
I can keep going on it. How eerie is that?
It is rather eerie.
That basically they have been the same exact player since the trade, but here's the difference.
Yeah.
The Rams gave away assets to get the same exact player they already had, and the Lions acquired those assets and then turned them into Laporta and the running back from Alabama, Jamison Williams, and they used those picks to add key players to their team. So
where's the yardage?
The yardage?
Yeah, where's the yardage? Because I'm having a hard time with this. So where's the yardage? What's the yardage difference between Stafford and Goff?
The yardage difference is not put in there.
Yeah, you know why? I bet
Probably.
you I know why.
Maybe.
Because I'll look it up.
First downs per attempt are the same numbers. Yards after catch with completions, same numbers. So it's literally the same thing. The yards are not on here.
It would take me a second here.
So,
but go ahead and make your point because I'll find it here.
Well, the point is what I just said. The point is they've been exactly the same person, the same quarterback. But again, the Rams gave away assets to get exactly what they already had in Jared Goff, in Matthew Stafford, because the stats are proving that. Now, I didn't give you the yards, but I guess the biggest difference is Matthew Stafford went on to win the Super Bowl with the Rams, and Jared Goff has won playoff games for the Lions and got them to the NFC Championship game last year where they got out to a big lead against San Francisco and could not hold on.
Well, to be fair, he didn't have Aaron Donald either over there in Detroit like he did there in Los Angeles with the Rams.
Well, he had Aaron Donald, he had Von Miller, he had who's the guy from Nashville?
Jalen Ramsey.
Jalen Ramsey. That defense was pretty loaded.
Yeah. So actually, Jared Goff had more yards here. I just found it here. Jared Goff with 12,258 yards. Matthew Stafford with 10,938 yards.
Since the trade?
Since the trade.
Wow.
Jared Goff has also played in 7 more football games than Stafford has. Jared Goff has started 48 games. Stafford has started 41 games. So that could be, where some of that discrepancy is in there as well. When one guy has 7 more games than the other guy, that's going to lead to some stat differences. I know I look at Matthew Stafford as the superior quarterback to Jared Goff, even though I understand the statistical difference that's being, or the statistical argument that's being made here. But could they get you similar results? I guess so. But a lot of this is what's going to show is supporting cast here. What's the supporting cast around these folks? Neither guy was going to carry you there. Both guys have the capability to get you there with the right people around them. And you can't say that about everybody, but you can say that about them. Jared Goff has been to the Super Bowl as well, even before he got to Detroit.
He did. Took the Rams there and they lost.
So, and again, was Matthew Stafford the difference between the Rams winning the Super Bowl and not?
It's hard to say.
It's hard to say. The best player in that game, in the Super Bowl game, was Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald made the plays down the stretch that won them that football game.
He did.
That's why he's going to be the first ballot Hall of Famer here in 5 years if he doesn't come back or whatever. He's the guy. He's the guy. So whoever had Aaron Donald had a massive advantage in that football game, and it just happened to be the Rams. So we'll see. We'll see. But I understand the point, though. I get the point.
I just thought that was pretty interesting.
It is.
If you ask any football fan, hey, who do you think is, who's looked better? Who's put up better numbers since that trade? Jared Goff or Matthew Stafford? I think most people would say Matthew Stafford. I would
agree.
But the stats tell you otherwise.
The stats do as a starter, by the way, Jared Goff 24 and 23 and 1.
Well, if you remember, Jared Goff's first year with the Lions, didn't they start off like 0-10?
First year with the Lions. Rewind. Scroll down.
I think they started
0-7.
Was it 0-7?
They were 0-7 in games he played.
Okay.
Now, I don't know about other games he didn't play, but the games he started, he was 0-7.
Okay. So obviously it didn't look good.
No, it didn't look good at all.
Out of the gates.
No. 5 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. It was bad.
Wow.
It was real bad.
And then obviously things changed. So anyway, just
Pro Bowler next year.
Interesting thing to pass along after yesterday's news of Jared Goff getting a 4-year, $212 million deal, $170 million of it guaranteed. It is good to be Jared Goff. And he's 29 years old, and he's already made a ton of money already.
If you're Hendon Hooker, what are you thinking this morning?
I mean,
I know he's a third-round pick, and he was already older when he was drafted.
Yeah.
And now he's sitting up there in this rookie contract, and they just signed Jared Goff to this long-term extension.
What is Hooker, 25 years old?
Yeah.
Time to go.
Well, he can say that all he wants to. The problem is
actually he's 26 by now.
Probably 26 by now. He was drafted. That's the problem. He's drafted and he's there. So, sometimes this is why some people say being signed as an unrestricted free agent sometimes is better than being drafted, because there you can pick where you want to go.
Oh, you mean the undrafted guy?
Yeah, the undrafted guy.
Yeah,
unrestricted. I'm sorry. Undrafted. Yeah, the undrafted free agents sometimes are better.
Pick your spot.
Yeah, because now he gets paid more because he was a third-round pick or something. So I don't know. It's interesting because injuries happen. He's 30-something. Is he going to play healthy for the next 4 years? Probably not. Is he going to play the full 4 years? Probably not. But there's probably still a future there. I'm just saying.
We know the theme the last 3 years in this market has been injuries.
Yeah.
Right? It's been a heavy dose of why do the Titans lose so many players every season?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to play a clip when we come back and discuss. Tell everybody who we're going to hear from.
We are going to hear from the Titans' brand new sports performance director. His name is Zach Wolfren. And he's got quite the resume. He's been with a number of organizations. I'll give you the full rundown when we come back. This is the McFarland Show on WNSR.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-617-0239. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and Yelp and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-617-0239. That's 800-617-0239. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Progressive presents good news, bad news, dumb news, then great news. Good news. A letter in your mailbox says you could save money bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive. Bad news. You saw it after your teenager backed the car into the mailbox. Dumb news. A new mailbox, basically a box on a stick, costs up to $400. Great news. You decide to see if you could save money bundling at Progressive.com and go with paperless mail instead. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
The smarter way to clean your floors. It's time to make the swap. Swiffer Power Mop.
Introducing the new Swiffer Power Mop, the all-in-one tool that gives you a mop and bucket clean in half the time. The solution's built right in, so no heavy bucket, and the pad has hundreds of scrubbing strips to get deep into grout. Don't mop harder, mop smarter.
Swiffer Power Mop. Swiffer Power Mop.
Paramount Roofing and Exteriors, LLC, is proudly saluting our troops and veterans. Their tireless efforts should never go unnoticed. This message is brought to you by Paramount Roofing and Exteriors, LLC, serving Middle Tennessee. For all of your roofing, siding, window, door, and exterior needs, give the pros a call today at 615-635-1790. 615-635-1790. That's Paramount Roofing and Exteriors, LLC. AJ and the staff are professionals who care.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Titans trade for L'Jarius Sneed. I'm going to give you who he went up against in the 2023 season. Justin Jefferson, arguably the best receiver in the NFL. 2 catches, 14 yards. A.J. Brown in Philadelphia. 1 catch, 4 yards. Stephon Diggs, 1 catch, 3 yards.
The McFarland Show with Darren and Justin on Nashville Sports Radio WNSR.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
It's true. Thank you, Big Boy Sky. You can also watch the show. We look good on camera. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. Just gave you a little wink there. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. You can also listen to us on your WNSR app. You can go to WNSR.com, listen live. So just tell Alexa, play WNSR. She'll do it. She listens. She really does. She really does. She does in my house all the time.
Whether you want her to or not.
Have you ever had just her randomly just say something?
Oh, yeah.
Just like, what? Nobody was talking to you.
Excuse you?
What?
Unplug that thing.
You're not getting in this conversation.
Yeah.
No one said Alexa. You just mind your own.
Don't do it. You've just triggered somebody right now.
Know. I'm sorry.
Don't do that.
I'm sorry. Nate on our text line says, Damon's explanation makes me think of him lounging on a pool chair, being fanned with leaves and eating strawberries out of a basket on a side table with a band in the background. That actually sounds.
That sounds pretty good.
That sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds
Well,
good.
you were expecting that.
Then you.
No wonder you were disappointed.
Again, error on you.
Right.
That's your fault.
That's a you problem.
You went up there expecting that.
We know that Adam's not listening in Portland because I figured he would have called by now to defend his town. I mean, you just basically stomped on Portland in the
I love
first segment.
Portland.
Well, that's not the way he came off.
Oh, it did.
Didn't feel that way.
It really didn't. I don't think they felt
I
that
didn't
way.
I didn't
feel
feel
a good vibe when I left, but anyway.
Okay.
Also got a message from Forever Titans wide receiver Chris Sanders.
Chris Sanders.
We love Chris Sanders. He
One of the
said,
greatest of all
tell
time.
DJ Damon, what up?
What up, Chris?
And then he said, great show, guys.
Okay. Thank you.
Maybe he went to the Strawberry Festival and he had a good time.
Maybe
I don't
so.
know, you know?
Maybe. It's a possibility.
Chris, I'm here for you, brother. If you need to talk.
I hope next year they want to advertise the Strawberry Festival. We're going to make you do the reads.
That could be good.
Hey, the strawberries are great, though.
You're going to voice the spot.
I've eaten them strawberries all week.
All right, who are we going to hear from? This is going to be something we want to hear because this has been a sore subject in this market for the last 3 seasons.
Yes, sore, quite literally.
Yes.
This is the Titans' brand new sports performance director. His name is Zach Wolfen. Now, Zach Wolfen himself was a NFL player, but not a big-time NFL player. He was a practice squad guy, undrafted free agent kind of guy who was trying to get on and, caught on with the Packers and the practice squad, then fell off, caught on with the Ravens, caught on with the Texans, practice squad guy, could never quite get on, played, in the other football leagues for a little while, trying to catch on, just never did. All right, so stopped all that.
That's okay.
Nothing wrong with any of that.
His feelings still matter.
No, nothing wrong with any of that. I'm not saying that. Well, what's the problem?
Let's not throw him out with the bathwater.
Who's
now.
throwing him out?
Man.
I'm just giving you his background.
You're ready to put him in the recycling bin.
Who did any? As a player, he's already there. Now we're just talking about what he's doing since then. Now he's going on to be a coach.
We won't get him on the show.
No, then listen. And listen,
I'm glad I'm not the only one catching it today. Thank you.
Most of these guys have come to terms with what they are or were as athletes. Okay, so that wasn't his thing. So instead, he's going on to sports performance. You okay over there, Darren?
Kind of like Chris Sanders.
Darren can't breathe now. Okay. I'm just going to keep going here.
I just like the way you just trashed his resume.
Who trashed him? This is what happened.
I mean, this guy was a wannabe football player.
Who said wannabe?
He tried so hard to be in the NFL.
He was trying.
He just
he
wasn't
carried
good
the
enough.
bucket and everything.
Nobody say he was a wannabe football player. I didn't say that. I don't say such things.
He played third string and he just never got a chance.
Well,
just never caught on.
Bless
Listen,
his heart.
Bless his heart.
His pea picking hard.
No.
Nays
no.
eat strawberries.
Listen, I'm sure he was a great defender, whatever he was doing.
What team did he play for?
But now he's in sports performance, okay?
Oh, okay.
Sports performance now. Zach Wolfen, sports performance. All right, let's get ourselves back together. He played at UAB. He's the UAB Blazer.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Down there from Prattville. So, since his time where he's no longer playing football, he went on to sports performance and sports training. He was he coached in the Green Bay Packers organization, went back to his alma mater, UAB, also did sports performance at the University of Kansas, University of Missouri, Southern Miss, the United Football League. He's been around, experienced guy at this particular point. He has now been hired as the Titans' brand new sports performance director, okay? He is hoping to stop the injuries. That's what he's hoping to do, trying to stop the injuries that this team has had for so many years. They asked him if he could describe the way that his style works. This is Zach Wolfen talking about how his style, he's hoping, will adapt to the Titans. He describes it this way.
So the simplest way to describe our style, it's blue collar and it's cutting edge. It's the perfect balance between those two. Blue collar in the nature of this is a very physical, violent game. You got to train hard. There's no way you can train soft and play hard. So the training has to be hard training at times. The cutting edge part is what I was just talking about. The assessment using the technologies that we have brought in with our sports science department to assess our guys, to know, are there asymmetries, to understand what are the things that they really need in order to improve their performance, because everybody's different, and having a very individual training plan for each one of our guys based on the position they play, based on the needs that they have. Again, everybody's different, and so we've done a great job to assess our players based on their bodies, based on their position, the positional demands of that. O-linemen are asked to do something completely different than our receivers, so they train differently. And so that's the easiest way to describe what we're all about. We're about being blue collar, and we're about being cutting edge.
Blue collar and cutting edge, he says, is what he's trying to do with the Titans. Now, of course, we know the Titans have suffered a lot of soft tissue injuries. Has been a lot of what they've had to deal with. Hamstrings and torn this and torn that, and it's been a problem. It's been a problem. It's been a problem. This is his description of how he's planning to deal with the soft tissue injuries, and are they preventable? All right, hold on. We're getting
Performance professional, I definitely believe that you can do things to mitigate soft tissue injury. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of evidence-based protocols, but it's multifactorial. It's not just the training. It's about hydration. It's about how well our guys sleep, so teaching them about sleep and recovery. It's about how we practice, so Callie and I have a great relationship in terms of talking about practices needing to be undulated. And what I mean by that is some practices are very high demanding speeds, some are medium and some are low. And so in understanding how to go between those practices, understanding how to warm up properly, understanding, how to activate, understanding the asymmetries guys may have. So of course there are things that we can do to mitigate the chance of soft tissue injuries. But again, it's a very fast, violent game, and the speeds that some of these guys are running and the force that some of these guys are putting through their joints and their tissue, sometimes strains and pulls happen. But we're going to do everything possible that we know scientifically and evidence-based to reduce that.
All right. He's going to do everything he can to reduce that, including changing the way players sleep. Everything. So science, cutting edge, and blue collar, all mixed into one. Now, my only question after hearing all this from him is this. How different is this from what they were doing last year? And, and
were they not a blue collar team last year?
Well, they were a blue collar team, but, were they using the analytics? Were they using, the all the nutrition stuff and the sleep study stuff and all those? I mean, is any of this going to make a difference? And only time will tell on that. But this is the guy in charge here of trying to make sure the Titans remain as healthy as possible. I mean, it sounds good, but how good is it compared to anything else that we've heard?
No disrespect, but I mean, what did we learn from that? I don't even. I don't know how to fix it. I
don't know either.
He's much smarter than me when it comes to this stuff. But I mean, what did we learn from that?
I don't know how to fix it either.
Did that sound like okay, problem solved. Just wait, watch this.
I don't know what they were doing before. That's the only thing.
Kenny, I mean, I know the NFL is professional sports they're secretive leagues, secretive franchises, but I'd like for him to go in depth. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. Like, okay, so how? Okay, blue collar. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, it's the NFL. I mean,
it means he can't be cupcake with it. You want to go out there. You want to play.
Work hard. I mean,
yeah.
Okay. Well, okay, but what does that have to do with it's going to change? They weren't working hard. They weren't blue collar the last 3 seasons. What's going to change? Give us an idea. Let us peel back the curtain a little bit and let us know, well, what does that mean? Like, you've got this incredibly special diet that everybody's going to follow, or you have these new exercises that they're going to warm up to every day that, you're not allowed to talk about.
Well, you want him to go out there and make promises? He can't make promises.
Well, I just said peel back the curtain a little bit. I didn't say make promises. I said peel back the curtain. Tell us why. Like, okay, how?
Well, he says he's going to change their sleeping patterns and things like that, is what he says.
Okay.
And the way that they rest and the way that they operate.
Is he saying that they weren't sleeping properly before?
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
Okay. Well, what if they
But
were?
but see, that's the problem. We don't know.
And they were still getting hurt.
We don't know what they were doing last
That's
year
what
and
I'm
how
saying.
different that is to what they're doing this year.
Peel back the curtain, and I understand it's a new staff, but
Yeah.
there's still
there's
people that were
plenty of
there,
guys there, yeah.
that were there from last year. I mean,
Plenty.
Tell us what's going to be different.
How are you going to keep Traylon Burks on the field this
Justin,
year?
I'm not asking for of course, there's no such thing as a guarantee in the NFL when it comes to injuries. But you could also have a plan that is different. Okay, so what is that plan? Tell us let us in a little bit. What is it? Tell us what you've got, what ideas you know or have, or information that you know and have that this organization hasn't been using in the past. And you know that because you've talked to people and said, hey, this is how I like to go about it. Were you guys doing this last year? Well, no, that's a good point.
Well,
No, we
I don't
weren't.
think he wants to throw rocks at the previous staff because that's what it ends up sounding like. If you say, well, these guys have been eating junk for the
Justin,
last
throwing rocks, it's a fact. It's it's a fact. For 2 seasons, they were the most injury plagued in the history of the game.
Oh yeah, no, they were hurt.
Not for the
all the time.
season.
Yes.
No team had ever suited up that many guys in a season.
Well, I agree now.
What was it, 90 one season? And
was up there.
84 the other season?
There's no question it was high. No question.
No, that's not an opinion. Those are just facts.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think it's really about throwing rocks. It's about just saying, hey, these are things that were happening that we're trying to change moving forward. And this is some things that I see that can be changed that could help change that narrative, change
They're
what
not
you've been
gonna-
accustomed to
they're
over
not
the
gonna
last 3 years.
There's no way that they can say something like that without slinging mud at the previous staff. And it's a small league, and you don't know who you end up working with again or how things come back around. So unless you're Sean Payton, you're not going to go slinging mud at the previous staff. No, very few coaches in the NFL, and there's new coaches every year, several, sling mud at the previous staff. It just doesn't happen. Just to come in here and go, boy, this place was a mess. Can you believe they were having, post-game pizza Thursday, every Thursday here at St. Thomas Sports Park? No, that ain't gonna work. That's how they were getting hurt all the time. No one's going to say that. They're going to say, listen, we have a program that we do when we come in here. This is the program that we want to plug in, and this is how we're hoping to make sure these guys aren't hurt. And some people believe that injuries are not preventable. He is saying, he's trying to say that he believes wholeheartedly that there are injuries that are very preventable if you get in front of them the right way and do the following things: sleep the right way, right diet, stretching the right way, all these kinds of things to him. Now, how different is it than what they were doing before? I have no idea. I would think that the previous guy, whomever they may be, was doing a lot of this same stuff.
Well, guys,
plural.
Well, and you had a coach who's running practices a certain way. Look, Justin, it was well documented. We talked about it a lot last season. David Long went to the Miami Dolphins and did what?
Played
the entire season.
Yeah, played.
You think that's just the biggest coincidence in the world? Could have been.
Could have been. Could have been.
But isn't that kind of weird?
Listen, A.J. Brown been playing.
A.J. Brown goes to Philadelphia and plays the whole season? So what? These are just coincidences? These guys leave here, and they don't have any problems staying on the field. When they're here, they're hurt all the time. I mean, again, that's not opinions. Those are facts.
You know who played 16 games last year? 16 games as a veteran player. Used to be a part of this team, was hurt a lot. Criticized for being hurt a lot. Last year, went to a different team, played 16 games. Bud Dupree.
Oh, Bud Dupree.
I'm looking at it now.
How about that?
Played 16 games last year with the Atlanta Falcons.
Could not stay on the field.
Started
here.
16 games.
Could not stay on the field here.
Yeah, had a hard time. Now he was coming off a knee injury when he got here.
Well, he had an ACL.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then, got here, think maybe pushed himself a little bit too fast to get on the field. Finally got on the field when he was right. Not bad, but the problem was he wasn't right most of the time. Played, 11 games his first season, 11 games his second season, 16 games last season with the Falcons.
I would say, look, it's bound to change. But I said that after the first year. I'm like, look, It's got nowhere to go but up. But you know what it did? It barely went up. It still was horrible. And then I said the same thing, like, okay, that's 2 years. There's no way.
Yeah.
It's going to. Oh, I get it. Now they've changed over a staff and they've got new people, new players. But
something was wrong.
Something was wrong.
Something was wrong with the way they were doing things in that building, injury-wise.
Yes.
There's no question about it.
There's no way this is a coincidence. No way.
No, there's too many examples.
There's too many examples.
Yeah, the guys are playing.
Like Bud Dupree, David Long, A.J. Brown. These guys, Bud Dupree was playing half of a season here.
11 games, yeah.
11 games.
11
just
games,
over half of a season.
Just over half a season.
And goes to Atlanta. First year, plays all year.
So,
come on.
How about this, Darren? 2021 for Bud Dupree, 3 sacks. 2022, 4 sacks. Last year, 6.5 sacks. He had a half a sack less last year alone for the Falcons than he had in 2 years with the Titans. 7 total sacks with the Titans in 2 years, 6.5 last year with the Falcons. And now he's on to another team. I think he's just re-signed with somebody else I saw. He just signed a new deal somewhere.
You have to just say, okay, look, new coaches.
This is what he wants to do.
New staff. You've got a bunch of new players. Things are going to change. But again, for 3 years, I've been saying that, and really nothing's changed. So we'll see. Look, proof will be in the pudding. If this year we're not even talking about that, then it's everything we need to know about Mike Vrabel and his staff.
Listen, whatever he's talking about,
everything we know exactly why it was happening.
It's worth a try. Whatever he's talking about is worth a try because whatever they were doing before wasn't working.
Clearly wasn't working.
So whatever he's talking about, this guy seems to be well credentialed. Whatever he's talking about is worth a try.
All right. We'll come back. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. You're listening to The McFarland Show here on WNSR.
You enjoy the thrill of gambling, but what happens when it becomes a problem? Whether you want to cut back or quit gambling altogether, the Gambling Clinic has been helping people change their gambling for over 2 decades. We're here to help, not to judge. The Gambling Clinic is a Tennessee-based clinic offering in-person and telehealth support to help people win back their life. Visit us at thegamblingclinic.com. This project is funded by the Tennessee Department of Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services.
Your brain is an amazing thing, but as you get older, it naturally begins to change, causing a lack of sharpness or even trouble with recall. Thankfully, the breakthrough in Prevagen helps your brain and actually improves memory. The secret is an ingredient originally discovered in jellyfish. Based on a clinical study of subgroups of individuals who are cognitively normal or mildly impaired, Prevagen has been shown to improve memory. A Pharmacy Times national survey of pharmacists rated Prevagen the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand for the 5th year in a row. You can find it in the vitamin aisle in stores everywhere without a prescription. Help your memory. Try Prevagen today. Prevagen. Healthier brain, better life. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And in the process, started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. The crazy thing is, this never ends. Even when you die, your family's now going to be stuck with this burden. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Call for your free information kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
It's JB and the General.
You know, I'll do my Stugatz weekend observations. Stugatz from the Dan Le Batard show. Patton, beep. One thing is sure. Beep. Actually, beep. 2 things are sure. Beep. Tennessee is going to the Final Four. Beep. And the Nashville Predators, beep, are winning the Stanley Cup. Beep. Those are my 2 observations. How about that?
Weekdays 9 to 11, live on WNSR.
5-state forecast.
Your exclusive national sports radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Today we'll have cloudy to partly sunny skies, showers and thunderstorms likely, the high 78. Mostly cloudy with showers and thunderstorms tonight, low 62. Partly sunny, a few showers and thunderstorms Wednesday. Utilizing the resources of the WeatherBug Network on National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
The McFarland Show. Video streaming live on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube from the Strike and Spare studio.
Rolling along on this Tuesday afternoon. Hope you're having a good day. Darren and Justin here with you. You can always watch the show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch. On our YouTube page, you can also interact with us. Just type in WNSR Live, one word. Our buddy Kevin down in Florida listening said on our text line, Justin, you just said he was on the practice squad of 35 teams, both the NFL and other football leagues.
Did not.
Kevin in Florida.
Did not. No disrespect to the Titans' new sports performance director. Just say he was on some practice squads in the NFL. It's true. He's listed here. The Ravens, the Texans, and, the Packers.
DJ Damon hit it. Okay, let's try it again.
Hold on.
Yep, we messed up. No. Now it's time for the Opinionated Larry question of the week. Sponsored by buyandtow.com. Call 615-480-6473. Get cash in your hand today and that vehicle hauled away.
All right, joining us by phone.
Sorry, Larry. I guess I was stuttering or something.
Some false starts there.
Yeah, that was some false starts.
Sorry about that.
First and 15 now.
Yeah, sorry, man. We had to back us up 5 yards and let's replay first down.
Modern technology. You guys are doing great. You guys are doing great. What's going on today? What's happening today?
Hey, man, everything is good. We got a question for you, Opinionated Larry. The question this week, good sir, is who is going to win a championship first? Now, when I say a championship, I don't mean the division. I don't mean the conference. I mean the whole thing. Who's going to take home the really big trophy first among these 4 teams? The Nashville Predators, the Tennessee Titans, the Tennessee Volunteers football team in particular, or Nashville SC? Who, Opinionated Larry, will take home the big trophy first?
Okay, guys, I'm going to throw you a curveball today, and I've been trying to stay away from this, but I guess it's going to force me to watch NFL football this year. But I think Will Levis will lead the Tennessee Titans to their first Super Bowl. What? If not this year, in the following year. If not this year, because the Volunteers, I think we're too far away. The Predators, hockey's just too tough, man. Hockey's too tough. And when's the last time a team from the South, and I'm not keeping up with it, you guys correct me, when's the last time a team from the South won the Cup?
Tampa Bay Lightning.
Tampa Bay won it several times.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, they're probably an older team, but I don't know. I'm going with the Titans. The Tennessee Titans, the wild horse, the dark horse wild horse.
That surprised me a lot. I thought you would go with the Vols here, but you're saying the Vols aren't ready, and Will Levis and the Titans are going to be ready before the Vols.
The Titans will be ready before the Vols. I like Will Levis, and I think they're making a few good moves, but Will's a difference maker.
Wow.
Prove me wrong. Let the Titans prove me wrong. Hey,
I'm
guys,
disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Larry. Mark the tape. Mark the tape, Damon.
Wow. That
this
was
year or next year.
That was Opinionated Larry.
Let me tell you, if that happens, we will play that tape.
Man.
Of Larry calling the shot.
Calling his shot for the Titans and with the Kentucky quarterback over his beloved Tennessee Volunteers. Wow. That was the opinion. Well, thank you for the opinion, Opinionated Larry. That was sponsored by buyandtow.com, 615-480-6473. Get your cash in your hand today and that vehicle hauled away. Again, buyandtow.com, 615-480-6473.
Warren Sharp, who I referenced earlier on the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford comparisons, also tweeted out this, putting out basically ranking the draft, everybody's draft class, okay, 1 through 32. Who do you think he had as the best draft class? In according to Warren Sharp, who do you think he had as the best draft class?
The best draft class this past year?
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears. I mean, it's hard to screw it up when you get top 10 picks.
Just so you know, Sharp Football is inventing custom predictive NFL analytics and visualized data at sharpfootballanalysis.com.
Okay.
The Chicago Bears were not in the top 10.
Okay, then no disrespect, but I don't know what
they were number 12.
Okay, then
excuse me, 11.
I'm not sure what his criteria is that he's who had the best draft?
Mm-hmm. It's based on it's a bunch of nerdy analytics stuff. That's why I didn't really want you to
Pro Football Focus.
Yeah, I didn't really want you to get in because it's going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Based on the DC COE draft capital over expectation, expected capital to be used on player versus actual used. Okay. You asked.
I did.
Okay.
And that's fine. It points me in another direction, I guess. So who had the best draft based on the Chargers?
Not in the top 10.
Not in the top 10.
They were.
That's interesting.
Chargers were.
So if you didn't like
15, right in the middle.
If you didn't like that, boy, this is tough because I'm trying to fit my brain into theirs, the analytical world.
Where do you think they have the Titans?
Oh, again, at the lower third. I would say the lower third in the league.
Yeah, 22nd.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Their draft 22nd.
A lot of the draft experts didn't like the Titans.
Yeah, that's why I'm bringing it up because we know that.
Yeah, they didn't like it.
So it's either going to be we're going to get an opportunity to say, see, they don't know what they're talking about, or they were saying that they didn't like this draft class.
The analysts have never liked anything the Titans have done. Even when they were winning football games, they never liked anything the Titans have done. It's just been the way it's been.
Well, to be honest, in the last 4 or 5 years, they were right.
Well, again, they didn't do the things that national publications tend to like and respect. They didn't have the flashy franchise quarterback. They didn't pick the big skill receiver. They traded away their last marquee player in A.J. Brown. They weren't going to like anything this team did.
The Lions were the number 1. Wow. Dolphins were number 2. Chiefs were number 3. The Steelers were number 4, and the Eagles were number 5. That's your top 5.
All the draft grades are like, this is the team that drafted the players that we like the best. I mean, but nobody really knows who or what these guys really are right now.
Right. It's according to their analytics.
Yeah, according to whatever
their formula, these players, and what round, what pick they should be drafted. And, it's like you do these fantasy drafts and, CBS or these outfits that run these, they do the same thing with your draft. Like, we had them as a 7th round pick. You took them in the 5th round. So that knocks against you. Like, we don't like that pick because you took them too early. Or you got them in the 8th round and we had them, there in the 4th round. So that was a great pick, right?
I don't think they take team philosophy into account nearly enough when they make these picks.
Yeah, probably
It's just
not.
based on whatever they think about without saying, well, we feel like this team plays this style and therefore is looking for this kind of a player. I don't think that's factored in at all.
We'll take our final break, come back, wrap up the first hour next.
It's just a few cocktails at happy hour.
There aren't any cops around. After every game, we always have a few. It's no big deal.
It was just a few drinks. I'm good.
Hey, I can hold my liquor. I drink and drive all the time.
If you put away some drinks, put away your keys. Fans don't let fans drive drunk.
Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is at the heart of Music City. Located within walking distance of the Country Music Hall of Fame, Bar Lines at the Omni is your downtown honky-tonk destination. Watch your team from any seat on their plentiful HD TVs and catch a live show on the Bar Lines stage featuring live music 7 days a week. Bar Lines has the ultimate Southern comfort food. Get started with classic fried green tomatoes or bourbon barbecue wings. Then it's on to the massive Smashville double stack or the world-famous Bar Lines grinder. Oh, you've never heard of the Bar Lines grinder? 2 kinds of cheese, lettuce, Dijon, smoked turkey, smoked bacon, smoked ham. Now that's some smoke you want. Local brews and local spirits are on tap at Bar Lines. Take a seat on the patio outside and soak up the rhythm of Music City. Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
Gas, groceries, utilities, you name it, the price of everything is going up. And if you're stuck in a bad timeshare with rising maintenance fees, the financial burden can be crushing. It is time to get your finances in order and get the real facts about that timeshare that you are stuck in and your options to get rid of it. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has been helping families out of horrible timeshares for over 10 years and has put together a complete timeshare exit information kit that he will send you absolutely free. To date, over 30,000 families have trusted Wesley Financial Group to help them out of financial hardship by getting them out of bad timeshares. Get the facts about how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation. Simply call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit kit and see how you can become timeshare free. Call 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. Once again, 800-462-3333.
Buyandtow.com. Get cash for junk cars. You have a vehicle that's become a problem? You can get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. They'll buy your vehicle no matter the condition, in your driveway, at your mechanic shop, or even on the side of the road. You can call them at 615-480-6473 or visit buyandtow.com. Get cash in your hand today and your vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473. Buyandtow.com. That's buyandtow.com.
The 2024 Atlanta Braves are on a mission to bring home a 7th straight NL East title and head back to the Fall Classic.
Harris to the warning track. Harris will leap, and he got it! He caught the ball! You have got to be kidding me! Swung on, belted, deep right field, gone!
Listen to the NL East defending champs, the Atlanta Braves, only on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Text the Strike and Spare studio now at 615-844-5600. You're listening to The McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
If you're looking for the Vandy, Kentucky game on Saturday, the baseball game, it's going to be played at 11 a.m. on Saturday.
All right.
And it'll be shown on SEC Network.
Okay.
So Kentucky, Vandy baseball this Saturday, 11 a.m. our time, and it can be seen on SEC Network. So keep that in mind. Also, it's a pretty cool little story. You know, we're coming up on Memorial Weekend, and we know that's Indianapolis 500, right? That weekend on that Sunday. I just read today that Jimmy Johnson, a Hall of Fame driver.
Yes.
Stock cars, but he's also, you know, he raced here.
Yes.
An open wheel down the streets of downtown Nashville. Jimmy Johnson will be in the broadcast booth on NBC for the Indianapolis 500.
Wow.
And then we'll drive that night in the Coca-Cola 600 in Charlotte.
Oh.
And that'll be the first time anyone has ever done that.
So he's got to catch a flight.
Yeah.
Now, drive one of those cars. No.
There's been a few that have done the Indy and the NASCAR, right?
Yes.
That Coca-Cola 600 and the Indianapolis 500.
I do remember that. Yes, I do remember that.
I think there's 3 drivers.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
3 or 4. But he's going to do the booth on NBC.
How cool is that?
And then drive that night, Coca-Cola 600.
Wow. That's a memory.
How about that?
That's something you get to take with you for a long time.
Yep.
That is really cool.
And he'll be the first to ever do that. All right, that's going to do it for this hour. We're going to come back, switch gears. Talk about the Predators offseason. We'll do that with Alex Doherty, who covers the Preds for the Tennessean. And we will do that next as you listen to The McFarland Show right here on WNSR.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franz, and attorneys for Donald Trump now cross-examining Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, in the hush money trial, trying to poke holes in his testimony, claiming that Trump directed him to make payments to Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election and then reimbursed him. Cohen's credibility, the target. ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer says the defense could bring up Cohen's perjury conviction.
The payments might have been at the behest of Donald Trump, and Donald Trump might have said okay to that, but you lying to the FEC, you lying to Congress, I don't see the connection where Donald Trump told you to make those lies there.
At an arraignment hearing today, Shohei Ohtani's interpreter, Ippei Mutsuhara, pleaded not guilty to federal charges of stealing millions from the baseball star. It was a procedural matter, and Mitsuhara has entered a plea agreement with prosecutors. Today, bells tolling in Buffalo. A memorial marking 2 years ago when a self-professed white supremacist killed 10 black shoppers and workers at the Top supermarket. This is ABC News.
Memorial Day is nearly here. Time to fire up for grilling season. Head to omahasteaks.com for the Memorial Day sale with 50% off site-wide. That's 50% off grilling favorites like tender steaks, beefy burgers, and much more. Plus, use promo code QUALITY at checkout to save an extra $30. Their unconditional money-back guarantee backs every purchase. At omahasteaks.com, use code QUALITY at checkout for an extra $30 off. Minimum order may be required.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
Offer not valid in all states or where prohibited by law. Loans are subject to lender approval. See website for details.
Honey, the credit card bill came, and we're maxed out.
Maxed out cards, rent is due. We just need some extra cash to help us get by.
Maybe we should go to 27cash.com.
With our bad credit?
27cash.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with any type of credit get up to $5,000, and cash can hit our bank account as soon as tomorrow.
When you need extra cash, go to 27cash.com. That's 27cash.com. 27cash.com.
WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Attention business owners. WNSR has some exciting opportunities for your business to thrive in the dynamic world of sports radio advertising. As the proud home of some of your favorite sports teams like the Atlanta Braves, Memphis Grizzlies, and more, we understand the power of sports in bringing people together and creating a passionate community. We believe that your business can become an integral part of this experience, reaching a diverse and engaged audience. Contact the WNSR sales team for an opportunity to discuss how Nashville's sports radio can elevate your brand to new heights. Whether you're interested in a specific sponsorship package or would like a customized solution, we are here to meet your advertising needs. Call 615-844-1039. 615-844-1039 or email saleswnsr@gmail.com. That's saleswnsr@gmail.com.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call or text now. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Call us or send us a text on the WNSR text line. 615-844-5600. 615-844-5600. Call or text. Same number.
Oh, righty then.
Now, the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour on this Tuesday afternoon. Darren and Justin here with you, and we're live in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. Let's say hello to Alex Doherty. Covers the Predators for the Tennessean. He now joins us. Alex, how we doing?
Great. How are y'all doing today?
Well, we're doing better than Shushkin. That was crazy news coming down. He has been suspended for at least 6 months. Placed in stage 3 of the NHL and NHLPA, I guess, player assistance program. And Colorado's on the brink of elimination. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, definitely didn't see that coming. I mean, we don't know a lot about what happened.
Right.
But the details of that guy's history and what happened last year, which was also in the playoffs, I believe. Yeah, I would be shocked if that guy plays in the NHL again. Just to be honest.
Oh wow. Okay.
I think, maybe I'm misreading it, but it just seems like if you violate that whole situation with the league, I mean, they don't play around with that kind of stuff. And so if it was like if it's a drug rehab thing and there was some sort of a relapse or something like that, that's one thing. But given what else happened with that guy, there were other things that happened with a woman in a hotel room. If you've read the reports, like it seems like there's a lot more than just like he's got a drug problem. It seems like there's other issues going on. So, anyways, I can't speculate, obviously, but that just did not sound very good.
Yeah, and a big whoops by the organization because they just gave him a big deal, didn't they? A long deal. Didn't they get him? Didn't they sign him up for 8 years?
Oh, is that right? I don't recall if it was. I don't remember it being that long, but I do know that he has to apply for reinstatement. Like he has
Correct.
to go through a whole process to get back in the league. So
I'd have to look it up. I thought he was like 8 years or like $6 million or a little bit over $6 million per. I think that they had been trying to string him along, and then finally they rewarded him with a long deal. I could be wrong on that, but I thought that's what I read, and I remember that. And if so, yeah. But I know all this is without pay, so I don't know how all this works. If indeed, like you said, that maybe this ends up being detrimental and he never even comes back. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Well, that kind of leads me into I was looking at Cap Friendly on X, and the current dead cap hit for next season, which includes buyouts, retained salary, recapture penalty, and overages. Do you know who has the worst number in the league for next season, Alex?
I'm going to guess it's the Nashville Predators.
It's number 2. They're actually number 2 with almost $12 million in basically dead money.
That sounds right.
It's 11.8. Actually, their division foe, Minnesota Wild, because of what? Suter, Parise, all that.
Yeah.
They're number 1 at just over $15 million.
Right.
So, with that being said, by the way, there's 12 teams that have zero, like no dead cap money, which is pretty impressive. 12 teams in the league that don't have to worry about that. But Minnesota and Nashville have the most, and it's really not even that close. So, with that being said, how do you think that affects, or does it affect their offseason?
So Nashville, I think, the problem is they have the dead cap, but they also have some wiggle room with some other guys. I mean, they already signed some guys next year for, pretty cheap contracts, right? I mean, Michael McCarron, Cole Smith. If they signed Kiefer Sherwood, he would be pretty cheap. I mean, it's not like they have huge holes to fill. I mean, if you look around, there's a lot of teams out there that just have a ton of holes they have to fill for next year and don't have a lot of cap room. Take Carolina, for example. Carolina Hurricanes, who are in the playoffs right now, which is good for them. But they've got like 3 RFAs that are all owed big money, and they have like almost no money to do anything with it. So like the Predators are not in that situation. Of course, I think they'd probably rather be in the second round of the playoffs than not. So that they've got that going for them. But I think Nashville has. I think the bigger issue is what's going to happen beyond this next year, right? And the fact that all this dead cap money hits this year is maybe why they, Barry Trotz mentioned, like in his press conference a week ago, things could get bumpy here. I think is the word he used. I think he says it might be a little bumpy here for a second because they've got the dead cap money, they've got some other things they have to worry about with regards to UC Saros. Maybe they, what if they trade him and then they have a Lankinen, a year of Kevin and Lankinen and Yaroslav Askarov, and that probably is not going to be a solid year, especially if they're not able to spend a ton of money at free agency. So I think in a way, my answer is yes. It will affect them this year, but maybe that was kind of the plan. They knew that this year was going to be the worst year for their dead cap situation. And, once this year hits and then next year goes away, after that it gets a lot easier, smooth sailing.
But when I listen to Barry Trotz's end of the year, I like, Gosh, I'm so pro him, and I just hate saying, but man, I'm like screaming, no!
Yeah.
Unless I'm reading this wrong. I mean,
thought about you when he was talking about that.
golly. I mean, it's like, no, do not. Like, please tell me you're not really thinking about signing UC Saros to a 7-8 year deal. Like, please tell me you're really not going down that road.
And something people have brought up, you know, they don't have to go the 8-year deal. They could go the 7-year deal. If that's the case, then, you know, why would UC Saros take, I mean.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Why would he take that when he could also put that same 7-year contract up against a bunch of other teams
Of
that might be
course.
willing to pay more?
Yes. 100%.
So,
that makes no sense whatsoever.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
why do you think they feel? I mean, look, fill us in and fill our audience in, because you obviously follow Milwaukee much closer than us. What's currently going on right now? They're in the playoffs, but you know, obviously there's stuff going on with the Scaroff. So kind of get us up to speed.
Yeah, I honestly, what I was going to say about it is that I really think people are making too much of it. I mean, he's not had a great second half of the year. He wasn't great in the first 2 games against Texas. It was a 5-game series, and he lost the first 2 games. Troy Grosnick stepped in and won the other 3. So he didn't play well. And then in particular, he had the moment, which you may have seen, where he basically ran a guy who took his stick and he checked him. And it was a pretty funny moment, but I don't think it's that surprising that after that is when Carl Taylor made the switch. I think there's, you know, he's 21. He's going through some growing pains. I think there's, you know, he's still a Russian kid who speaks some English, not a lot, who's living in a different place and still trying to figure things out. That is always a challenge and something that I think people can't forget about. But I would be surprised if Barry Trotz were to say, you know what, this little bump in the road, that's too much for us to handle. We need to make our decision based on what we see now as opposed to what we think he's going to be. Because I think if Trotz seriously looks at this and says, I would rather pay UC Saros, you know, $60 million or whatever it is, rather for 8 years over seeing what Askarov can do for the next 8 years at much cheaper. In addition to, I could trade Saros and get, you know, scoring help now. I just feel like that's the better option. It has to be. And even if Saros is a known commodity, like you can find a Band-Aid, you know, named Kevin Lankinen for the next couple of years and come out the better at the end of it. So, you know, by the time Askarov is 24 and ready to be a full-time 60 starts a year kind of guy, I think you're going to do a lot better than by the time that Saros is 32 and starting to trend downward, right?
I think, Alex, it is absolute lunacy to throw out a long-term deal for Saros. Like, I do not, it doesn't even comprehend with me. Like, I don't even, that makes just zero sense to me whatsoever. Look, if they didn't have Askarov, okay, fine. But you just said, by the way, how old is UC Saros?
He just turned 29.
I was just say, okay, he's on the doorstep of 30. He's on the doorstep of 30, and you're talking about a long-term deal with a guy at the doorstep of 30 when you have a first-round pick in Askarov who's 21 years old in your pipeline, who's arguably your number one prospect. Like,
You feel like the organization used up their one long-term goalie contract with Pecorine. It's challenged to get them both on there. Sorry, I don't know if you can hear me very well. I'm driving in the rain, so all of a sudden there's a rainstorm popped up. So I hope you can hear me okay.
Yeah, where are you?
Loud and clear,
yeah,
sir.
where are you?
I'm on 40.
Okay. So I guess rain if you're in the area.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
That's right.
I know it's supposed to rain today.
Sure.
So, but what I was gonna say, you know, you're right. It's the long-term deal for a goalie that's about to turn 30. It's like, you know, let's assume that it's an 8-year deal. The first 3 years of it are going to be fine. You're going to get value out of it, but 5 years of it at least are going to be tough. And if he's asking for no move contract, it's going to be even tougher. You're just going to be in the same situation that you were last year and the year before in a few years. And and by the way, that's not using Saros to upgrade your team in other ways. So like that to me is the biggest aspect here. Like if you can use Saros to upgrade your team, especially at forward, I'm not saying it's going to be a huge upgrade, but something that upgrades your forwards. You know, you're not going to make it out of the first round, and you're not going to be bad enough to get a top pick. So it doesn't seem like the best option to me either.
Yeah, I'm going to reserve losing my mind and just trust that Barry Trotz is not going to do that. Like I can't even go there right now because they will get destroyed if they do that, and they will deserve to get destroyed. Unless here's the one caveat. If they come out and just say, look, you know what? I think we've goofed. It doesn't look like Askarov is going to be what we thought. And,
Right.
He's not the future and we thought he was. And, unfortunately, he's just going to fall in the line of, Brian Finley. Who else did they? Pickard. The two goalies that they've drafted in the first round in the past that were total flameouts and bust. I guess he's just going to be lumped into that group. Like, we goofed, but we're out here admitting it. We're admitting our faults, and that's why we're giving UC Saros the long-term deal. Then okay, and we're going to trade him, and just know that that was one that we missed on, and we're sorry. But I don't think they're going to do that.
No, I don't think so, and I also don't. I don't know that would be right to do anyways. I mean, like I just don't think you can say that about Askarov right now. I think he has too much talent, too much potential to throw away right now, and for what is essentially a 3-week down period in what has been 2 years of really, really good play overall in Milwaukee. So yeah, I'm with you there.
Okay, help me out with something because maybe I just don't understand. Isn't UC Saros the guy you sign if you think you're ready to win right now? Like, isn't he the guy that you would sign if you thought that you had a top 3 team in the Western Conference and you thought next year is going to be the year that we're going to be able to get home ice advantage for the first couple of rounds and we're ready to make a run? To me, the veteran goaltender that's in his prime is the guy you would sign if you thought you were going in that direction. But signing a guy who's clearly in his prime and playing good hockey, no knocking him against that. But, he's a win now guy, is he not? Or, why wouldn't you go with the younger guy if you thought that your team still has some growing up to do?
So I'm gonna make a football analogy.
Come on with it.
I promise I'm not only doing this just because I'm talking to you, Justin.
No,
really,
Alex,
this is the best.
It's
this
fine,
is the best
sir.
way to think.
It's fine.
I think it's better to think about goaltenders as running backs and forwards and centers as the quarterbacks and the wide receivers. And, like, in the NHL right now, the goaltenders are the running backs. Like, you need a good one. You can't have a bad running back. But, like, you really don't want to spend your money there, and you want to spend your money where it's going to get you points on the board, right? And I think that's where the NHL is at now. I think it's been trending that way for a long time. That's why I said earlier, I think they had that long contract with Pecorine, and at the time it seemed like, wow, this is like the way things are trending. But not many goalies have signed any good contracts after that. Like Vasilevsky is the only one that has one that makes any sense. The rest of these contracts are just like bloated and really not very good, and I don't think you're going to see that very much in the NHL anymore. So I think the answer is no. Like he's not the goaltender you want to sign to that level contract. I'll be very interested. Here's what I think could be very interesting to see. Like, what happens if they trade him, and what is the contract going to look like if someone else signs it? Like, if someone else were to, let's say they trade him to Edmonton, right? And because they need goaltending. If they traded him to Edmonton, what would the contract look like there? And I think that would tell you, do other teams value goaltending the same way? Because I kind of don't think they do. I don't think they value goaltending the same way the Predators have over the years. And I think that Barry Trotz is maybe trending towards maybe not doing that and maybe reconsidering. I mean, the guy has mentioned so many times wanting to get that elite star forward that's going to make a difference for you. And this is his kind of chance to maybe gather some resources and finally make that happen. So, I just to go back to that analogy, I think this is like paying Derrick Henry all that money and thinking this is who we are, this is who we need to be.
Yeah,
but
it's fair.
Not really going to.
That's a fair. Look, the league has changed. Look at Sheloffs. Here he is. He's a third-string goalie from the AHL in Vancouver's on the doorstep of the Western Conference Final. He was, a sixth-round pick, and he's 23 years old. And they're doing it with a guy nobody even heard. Maybe in Vancouver, but nobody else had even heard of. And here he is. He's got, the knuckleheads on the brink of getting to the Western Conference Final, and he's a sixth-round pick who's 23 years old in the AHL.
So, Alex, for you, it's more about the investment versus the player.
Yeah.
It's just about this is where you're going to put your money and your resources here versus other positions that are clearly of need on this team here. Okay.
Well, because the league is about scoring.
Yeah, because the league's...
And especially because in a hard cap like the NHL, the value of the dollar is so much more. It's like you cannot waste money. And in the NFL, I don't know anything about how the cap works, but I know enough to know you can play fast and loose with the rules, and you can have a soft cap, and you can guaranteed money, but you can move these contracts around, all that stuff. You can't do that in the NHL. Like, these are guaranteed contracts. Once you agree to pay UC Soros $65 million, whatever it is, it's going to him no matter what. Either you're trading that money to someone else to pay, or you're paying it. So, yeah, it's like you have to. It's the value of the money that's going to be owed to the player that I think you need to shift towards scoring help rather than goaltending help.
I just don't think he's going to do that. But we'll find out. Listen, Alex, what's going on with Tomasino? We heard the comments after the season was over about some of the things he may want to do a little differently, apparently, up there in Milwaukee. Like, what are you hearing now, or what did you take away from what they said about Tomasino after the season?
Yeah, Brunette's comments were pretty direct. I mean, he just said basically he's heard really good things about what Tomasino's doing up there. But he said this one thing about, Tomasino has basically been putting the skill before the work, which in hockey terms is basically like he's not working hard enough for us. He's not putting in the blue collar shift kind of mentality that Brunette and other hockey coaches want. However, the reports from Carl Taylor are that Phil Tomasino has been excellent and has been model citizen, has been doing everything that they've been asked him to do. So, I think part of it is just motivating. I think Brunette wants to make sure that Tomasino knows we want you here, but you have to be ready to work. And I think he's got just as good a shot next year as he did this year to make the roster. He's going to have to show improved, grit or, workmanship. I don't know what you want to call it, to show that every single shift he's going to work as hard as he can. A guy like Luke Evangelista last year showed that. He was working really hard on every shift, and he showed that he was worth putting out there even to make mistakes. Tomasino wasn't showing that. So I think he's got a good shot. I think this is probably going to be his last chance. I mean, not just because of his contract, but if he doesn't make it this training camp in September, if he doesn't come in and make the team and perform and produce, he's on his way out, and there's no doubt about that. So I think he's still got a shot, but it's going to be close.
So all this is about play style, essentially. Yeah, I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just saying, yeah, exact playing style. Yeah, it's like his skill level is there, but in hockey, there's so much that happens without the puck. Think about it like this: a player might go on the ice for a 45-second shift and touch the puck for 3 of those seconds. I mean, maybe not even 3 seconds, maybe 1 second they get the puck. So those other 40 seconds, what are you doing? Well, I mean, are you skating hard to back check? Are you covering a man defensively? Are you getting open for your teammates to pass you the puck? Like, it's all that work that I think Tomasino needs to work on. When he gets the puck, he's pretty good. He can shoot, he can pass, and stick handle. But it's that other 40 seconds of a 45-second shift that he's not quite there yet. Does that make sense?
There's a wrestler who says, know your role and shut your mouth, essentially. So I think it's kind of what we're looking at. All right, Darren. So that answers my question with that.
Interesting stuff. Alex, we always appreciate it. It never fails when you come on. Our text line gets going. Our tweets start rolling in. Our views on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch go up. So People are interested in what you're saying on the show. Obviously, we know that in Vancouver. They're listening every time you come on. So thanks for doing this as always.
I've gotten a lot less Vancouver focus recently online, so that's okay. I'm okay being off their radar for a few months.
No doubt. Hey, thanks for doing this as always. We'll talk soon.
Of course. Talk to you later.
Alex Doherty covers the Predators for the Tennessean. Good stuff from him as always. We're wide open the rest of the hour if you want to get involved. 615-844-5600. That's the phone line and the text line as you listen to the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
And now, Sunspace Sunrooms RVM Development are proudly saluting our troops and veterans. Their tireless efforts should never go unnoticed. This message is brought to you by Sunspace Sunrooms RVM Development. For maintenance-free enclosures, sunrooms, screen rooms, patios, and more, give Russ a call today and ask about their senior, military, and first responder discounts. 423-225-2414. 423-225-2414. Or visit sunspacesunrooms.com. That's Sunspace Sunrooms RVM Development. They're professionals who care.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Upside, the free app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Upside app?
Yes, I get real cash back just for buying the gas I was going to buy anyway.
But is it a hassle to use?
No, it's super fast and easy, and I can cash out whenever I want.
That's a total no-brainer. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code LIFT for an extra 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's promo code LIFT. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code LIFT for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code LIFT.
Has someone in your family lost a job recently, and now you can't afford your mortgage payment? Or do you have a rental property and your tenants aren't paying you? We can come to the rescue and pay you cash for your home immediately. Yes, sell your home and get cash all over the phone without dealing with real estate agents or having to waste time showing your home to lukewarm buyers. You don't need to lose your house to foreclosure. If you have equity in your home, we'll buy your home and give you cash within days, all in a simple over-the-phone and virtual process. Call now before your situation gets worse. Sell a home you can't afford or just need anymore and get the cash you need today. Call this number now.
Call 800-527-4903. That's 800-527-4903. 800-527-4903. Again, 800-527-4903.
Paid for by Airtime Media.
Hey, if you're looking for a place to catch all the hockey and hoops action this spring, look no further than the Alley Pub in Bellevue. And now here's Samantha to tell you about one of their great weekly specials.
Attention service industry. We want to say cheers to you at the Alley Pub, located at 7040 Highway 70 South in Bellevue. Every Wednesday night, bring a copy of your ABC card or pay stub to receive 20% off of your tab. Only at the Alley Pub, Bellevue's best sports bar and grill.
Warrior fan, can't believe I'm about to say it. You just got beamed. Devastating evening for the Dubs. Devastating, in fact, for anybody who was pulled for this Warriors dynasty. It truly did feel like the end of an era. And if not the end of an era, maybe the end of Klay Thompson's era at Golden State. What a terrible way to go. You got to feel for him. Disastrous night for a class guy and a rough night for a class organization.
Jim Rome is here weekdays 11 to 2 on Nashville Sports Radio, WNSR.
Titans fans, Preds fans, we have you covered. The McFarland Show.
(615-844-5600). Our buddy Johnny on X out in beautiful Vancouver.
Johnny
says, I agree with DMAC. Renee's extension at 29 years old for 7 years. Remember, it was a 7-year, $7 million a year. Was acceptable because there was no A-plus goalie prospect in the pipeline. And the contract turned out to be fine. This team is older. The fan base is more mature and expects better. We need scoring. Johnny in Vancouver.
All right, Johnny.
That is my whole premise on this, Justin. Okay, because you cannot get away from the elephant in the room. For all these people, it's like, well, but you got the proven commodity in UC Saros and you got the unknown. Well, yeah, but guess what the unknown is? The unknown is a high draft pick. He was what, 10th, 11th overall?
Mm-hmm.
First round pick, goaltender. Arguably the number one prospect in your pipeline. So that is an elephant in the room. It's not just something like, oh, I know you got this Skarov guy. But you got Saros is the proven guy. So we'll worry about that later on. No. If Askarov isn't in the picture, then yeah, this is an easy discussion. In fact, it's not even a discussion. Well, the discussion will be, well, we know they're gonna give him a max deal. So what's the years? I mean, what's the money? What are they gonna give him for 8 years? What is it? He's making $5 million this upcoming season, so they're gonna bump him up to 8. Are they gonna give him 9? Are they gonna give him 10? What are they gonna give Saros? That would be the discussion. But that's not the case.
Yeah. They
have what is supposed to be what they drafted, the future, who's been in the pipeline for years. They drafted him when he was 18 years old. And he'll be, I guess, 22, maybe, sometime this year, I think.
Okay.
Maybe later on. I need to look at his birthday.
That would suggest that he will be ready to play sooner rather than later at this particular point.
Is he going through a little hiccup right now? Yeah, he is. Okay, so, he's a young goaltender. So, has their forwards gone through?
UC Saros goes through hiccups right now. He's been here.
Justin, do their young scorers, young high draft picks go through hiccups? Yeah, all the time. And by the way, we're still waiting for a lot of them to stick because they come here, then they go away. They come here, and they go away. So they all go through hiccups. That's what young players do. You just brought up Tomasino. You think he's had hiccups?
Yeah,
he's
clearly.
First round pick.
Clearly.
First round pick. Been here, back in Milwaukee. Here, back in Milwaukee. Okay.
The core of the football team, the core of the hockey team that has been Saros, Yossi, and Forsberg over the last number of years. Let me zoom out here. Isn't it apparent? It seems to be apparent to me, anyway, that these three gentlemen, as fantastic as they have been, as much as we were probably going to raise their number to the rafter at one point, with all three of them, perhaps. Haven't they taken the franchise as far as they can go? Because haven't we been round and round in this merry-go-round long enough to understand that the max level for the core group of this player, of this team that, by the way, gets older every year, doesn't get younger, they get older every year, gets you to 7 or 8 seeds in the playoffs and first-round exits. Not to say they've been terrible, not to say they've been failures, just saying they've gotten as far. And listen, that happens. That happens in football all the time. Their quarterbacks, they can only get you so far. It's no indictment against them. It's just really hard. And you're looking for really, really special people, not just really, really good people, special players if you ever want to lift the trophy. Patrick Mahomes is not just really good, he's special. So you're looking for special players. The players that have won the NHL Stanley Cup in the past year, some of them, listen, Sidney Crosby, when he came in here and did what he did, he's not just really good, he's special. So if you're going to look to endeavor to get that kind of player.
Nathan McKinnon, special.
So UC Saros has shown us to be really good. Really good. And again, I've got nothing against UC Saros. And again, retire his jersey when he's done. Okay, lift it up to the rafters, may it never play again. But, at what point have we reached the conclusion that the organization has gone as far as it can with this particular core group of players? And apparently, everybody's saying they're making progress, and I've seen that theme over and over again online. Well, progress to what? To what end? How much more progress is this team going to make? Is this team going to make the leap next year? This was the 7th seed. Is this team going to make the leap to the 3rd seed next year with some added pieces here and there? Or are they just going to get to the 6th seed maybe? And then what does that get you? There has to be a vision of future here for the hockey organization that is beyond re-signing the goaltender that has only gotten you, but, so far. And that's my only thing. And the same thing with Derrick Henry, which is why Derrick Henry is no longer here. Why? Derrick Henry had gotten his organization as far as it could go. And maybe he can go win the Super Bowl with Baltimore. I don't know. But he'll be under a different set of circumstances than he was under here if he does that. So he's gotten this organization under this current plan as far as it could go.
I do think the interesting topic is what Alex was flirting with or talking about the league. And it's kind of like what we've been talking about on the show. We've got a promo running, or we said it when they hired Brian Callahan. Congratulations, Nashville. Congratulations, Middle Tennessee. Congratulations, Titans fans. You are going into an era that we've never seen before.
True.
Ever in this market. Ever.
Don't know it's going to work.
25
but it's going to be
years.
Different.
Yeah, I didn't say it was going to work. But we're going to see something.
It's going to be something different.
We've never seen before. The Titans are now in 2024. They have caught up to the rest of the league, and they plan on operating the same way as most teams in the National Football League.
Yes, pass first.
Yes.
Pass
Scoring.
First. Scoring.
Pass.
Touchdowns. Less field goals.
You've been asking me about, we've talked about this for the last, coming up on 2 years doing this show.
Okay.
And we've talked about the betting part of over-unders, how crazy.
Yeah.
An over-under in hockey for a long, long time was 5, and the big one was like 5.5.
Yeah.
Right? That was always the little bit high. The game you expected a little bit more out of.
If you saw a 5-4 hockey game, you know how unusual that used to be? Final score, a high-scoring affair tonight, between the Avalanche and the Stars. 5-4, the final score from the Pepsi Center. What? 5-4? Man, they scored a lot. That used to be a lot of points.
You saw
Average score was
6,
2-1, 3-2.
An over-under of 6 out of this. I mean, you're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Those days are long. I mean, now, I don't even think you can find 5.5 games anymore. Over-unders.
Yeah.
I mean, you just don't. I mean, the league is so high scoring. I mean, basically night in and night out, you can find a team scoring 8 goals in a game almost daily in the league. The league has changed. So with the league being so offensive-centric and scoring-centric, is the goaltender as important as it's been in the past? I don't know. I'm asking.
Clearly not.
I'm asking.
Clearly, ask Vancouver. Clearly not.
That's what I'm getting
Vancouver's
at.
answering the question for
Vancouver goes all the way to the Stanley Cup final?
Vancouver has completely changed my mind. There's no way in the world you could have convinced me that the Predators didn't have a massive, to me, series tilting advantage going against second and third string goaltenders in the NHL playoffs.
Against their starter, who's a finalist of 3 for the Vezina.
What are we talking about? And you've got one of the best scorers in the league on your team, Philip Forsberg. This is the matchup you've been waiting on. This is it. This is what you've been doing here. And nah. And we're still averaging 2 goals a game. What? That would suggest maybe there's a different issue. And again, when we've said this, UC Soros is not the problem, but I'm not sure he's your solution either. And if you've got to sink more resources into him, and it's going to prevent you from getting the scorers that you need. And again, where's the future with UC Soros? Where are we going? We're going to go back to the playoffs here. And again, we're going to go from the 7th seed to a 6th seed. Is that what we're doing? Where's the end here? Like, how did they get the cup? To me, that's the focus. It's not just incrementally getting better, because I've been through this ride too many times to know that ride, as the players get older, is going to stop. Philip Forsberg is going to stop progressing. UC Soros is going to get worse. All right? It's just the way it is. Roman Josi is already approaching, his mid-30s as it is, right?
He's what, 32
I think he's like
maybe?
I thought he was older than that.
Is he?
But this is not going to get – all I'm saying is it's going to get harder, not –
He's 33.
He's 33.
Actually, he'll be 34 June 1.
Mid-30s.
Yeah.
All right? I've been 34. So have you. Mid-30s. Let's not kid ourselves.
Been a while.
Now, listen, can you still play great hockey at 34? Of course you can. Can he still be an all-star next year? Of course he can. No one's trying to say he should retire. I'm just saying that it's going to get harder as time goes on with this core group of players. If they have not taken you to the promised land yet, then at what point are they going to get you there? And what are you going to put around them at this point to kind of get you there? I'm not really sure on that. That's the hard part to me.
Greg on our text line says maybe give Saros a 2-year bridge contract that gives the Preds 3 years. Let Askarov part-time backup for Saros the first year, only being called up when he's going to start, and then full backup the second year so Brunette can see what he's up close and personal. Look,
why not just give the money to Lankinen, who's going to cost you less?
Well, here's the problem. Look, and Greg, I've thought about this before because I knew we were going to have Alex on, and I've thought about this discussion. If I thought that was realistic, look, that's the only scenario for me that I would accept keeping Saros past next. His contract is up after next season, okay? And so for me, that 2-year bridge, I agree with that. The problem, as Greg probably knows, because he's a smart hockey fan, and I know, is why on earth would UC Saros sign a 2-year bridge deal? Why would he sign a 2-year deal when he's a free agent?
I don't know.
And he's going to be so then what? 32? You think he's going to get the big contract then?
No, he's not.
No,
he's not.
Like his big contract, his big one, the one that changes his life.
Is this one?
Is the one after his next contract when he becomes a UFA in 2025 after this upcoming season.
Okay, then
that's what I'm saying. So there's no way. I mean,
good night
he would
and good
have
luck.
the worst representation in the history of the world for an agent to say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, let's do a 2-year deal, and then we'll get the big one after that. No, you won't. No, you won't.
No.
And, by the way, what if the league even thinks differently in 2 years about goalies? And they're like, yeah, we just don't value them.
I don't see it.
Running backs in the NFL, we just don't see them the same that we do. So now you've really blown it. Greg, I agree with you. I actually thought about that's the only way I would even think about keeping Saros here after this contract is up. It's the only way that makes any sense. Like an 8-year deal to me is literally I'm the Kool-Aid man. I'm running through a wall screaming. Like you've got to be out of your mind to do that. I would sign up for the 2-year deal, but Greg, there's no way that's going to happen. No chance. Even though I agree with you, but there's no way. If so, that agent, he would be laughed at around the league. I mean, just literally laughed at. Bob, we'll get to you on the other side. 615-844-5600 is how you get in touch with us. You're listening to The McFarland Show here on WNSR.
PJ's Painting Service is on the air reminding all motorists to slow down on our roads, keep an eye out for kids at play and in our school zones, and to never text and drive. It can wait. This message courtesy of PJ's Painting Service, serving the area with quality and pride for the last 5 years. For commercial and residential painting, pressure washing, and drywall installs, call PJ's Painting Service today at 256-663-0781, 256-663-0781.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right?
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Ooh, pass me the intercom thingy.
Attention shoppers. If you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods.
Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Stirring fiber, exercising, frequent trips to the store for more laxatives and fiber. Sounds like your constipation with belly pain is a lot to manage, but if your symptoms that keep coming back are signs of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation or IBS-C, ask your doctor how Linzess can help you get ahead of it. Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
When was the last time you did something fun with family, friends, coworkers, and clients? What if I told you about a place under one roof that offers affordable entertainment for all ages? That's what you'll find at Strike and Spare Family Fun Centers in Donaldson, Hermitage, Tusculum, Hendersonville, and Murfreesboro, with bowling, games, food, drink, and entertainment for all ages. Enjoy an enhanced experience in Hendersonville or Murfreesboro, where they feature additional fun with bumper cars, laser tag, roller skating, and more. All locations are open 7 days a week, including holidays. Visit online at strikeandspare.com. Strike and Spare, where fun is bowling.
It's a Bill King Show.
If I ever told you my disdain for spring games, they are useless, they are irrelevant, they are not representative of a real college football game, nor does it tell you what you need to be looking out for once your team gets on the field for fall games that do count, that do go in the record books, and do mean something.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
You're listening to The McFarland Show live on WNSR Nashville Sports Radio.
It's true. Braves baseball tonight. They're Truist Park down in Atlanta, taking on Justin's beloved Cubbies. 6:20 first pitch, 6:05 coverage. Heard right here on WNSR. Chris Sale will be on the hill, 5-1 on the year for the Bravos. Talon, who's 3-0 on the season for the Cubs. 615-844-5600 is the phone line. Let's go to Bob in Antioch. Bob, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys. You may have covered this. If you have, I apologize. I just got in the car. But first of all, what's your opinion of the fact that Askarov has not been playing the recent games in the playoffs for the Admirals?
Well, I mean, he clearly has not been as good. When they were on their heater, kind of like the Preds, right? Both teams experience heaters in their league where they had the longest winning streaks in the league. And in this case for the Preds, it's point streak. And he was great. And then kind of after that, he's not been the same and has not played well. He's now been benched, I guess, is the best way of putting it, in the playoffs for the Admirals. And he's a young guy, and they're probably trying to, there's the game you play with the young guys, right? The mental game of, hey, take a break, go sit down, learn, that type of stuff. It's growing pains of young professional athletes, and I'm sure that's what he's going through right now as they play Grosvenor.
Yeah, I agree with the decision, by the way, to do that, and that brings me to my next point. But because of that, I know that he's still developing and whatnot. I'm in the camp of, I've and have been in the camp of keeping Saros. If either one of them is traded, I'm in favor of trading him, just because Saros is a proven commodity, and even though Saros is older and whatnot, I can foresee the same thing happening with him that happened with Pekka, which is play really well, and then when he starts to slip a little bit, move into a backup role maybe in like 5 or 6 years. So I would be in favor. I'm in favor of keeping.
So an 8-year deal, and just moving on from Askarov.
Well, I hope it's. You think it will be an 8-year deal?
Well, why wouldn't it? I mean, think about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Well,
I mean, it's either going to be 7 somewhere else or 8 here. I mean, Saros is going to get a max deal.
If I could, of course, there are no guarantees either way you do it. But if I could be guaranteed that Saros will play at a high level for most of those 8 years, and in the last 2 or 3 years be, let's say, as good as a backup as Lincoln is now. There's no guarantee of. I completely understand that, but I'd be okay with that.
Well, let me ask you, Bob. Why are you willing just to move on from their number one prospect in their pipeline?
Well, because he is a prospect, and because Saros is a proven commodity, and I don't think the playoff misfortune has been Saros' fault. I mean, they hung him out to dry a number of times. I like the proven commodity and see what you can get for the for the prospect in terms of trading. That's my opinion. That's how I feel.
Okay. We're just gonna have to agree to disagree. I don't. That makes no sense to me. But I mean, I understand. I understand what you're saying, but there's no point in why would you draft a guy? I mean, everybody's a prospect.
Right.
Well, 18 years old, I mean, it's going to take time. You're drafting an 18-year-old in the first round unless they're just special out of the gates. And, those are usually forwards, right?
Oh, I understand. Yeah, and I completely understand the opposing logic, as well. I mean, and both of them, either way you do it, it's going to be a risk. I mean,
that's true. That's what we can all agree on, right? No matter what their decision is, it's going to be a gamble. It just is.
Say, Bob, quick question for you, sir. We haven't heard from you in a couple of weeks, and we always appreciate your call and your insight and your passion about the Predators. Were you upset, disappointed? How did you feel about the way the season ended for the Predators?
I'm very optimistic. I'm disappointed, extremely disappointed, but optimistic. And I'm also, like a year ago, I think I've told you all this, I didn't follow them much until they started moving all those players at the trade deadline because I felt like the franchise was stale. And to be honest, I mean, I was losing interest. And then when they made all those moves and everything, I got, my interest was renewed. And then I liked the way that they played this year. I liked Brunette. I liked Trotz. So, and I some people are saying, well, the Predators should have won that playoff series. I'm not one of them. I think Vancouver was just a little bit better. But I think that the Predators went down with a fight. And because of that, I mean, I'm optimistic about, about the future. So that's kind of how I feel.
Okay.
And I want to ask you guys a question. You heard anything to indicate that Askarov is kind of a loose cannon? I mean, I know he.
What gives you that hint?
but he seems like he's sort of Jordan Bennington like. He's slapping sticks out of players' hands and stuff like that. Do you think that has anything to do with the way that they're looking at the future?
So you think whenever he skated to center ice, what was that, a year ago or 2 years ago, and fought somebody, you think he's a loose cannon?
Well, I mean, Vokoun did that. That's why I loved Vokoun.
Well,
but, I mean,
Vokoun, quite honestly, Bob, as much look, I love Vokoun. I got to know him well, but you'd have to also say he was a little bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah, I loved him. I mean, he's probably my all-time favorite Predator player, to tell you the truth. But the business of knocking sticks out of opposing players' hands and stuff like that. I was just curious about if you've heard anything about that.
Yeah, well, I think it's very clear that he's a loose cannon. But I mean, sometimes loose cannon can, he's also highly competitive.
He's also in his early 20s.
Yeah, he's got a lot to learn.
But
guess what? He maybe that edge that he plays with, that chip that he plays with, that at times goes too far, but it could make him great one day.
That's true. That's true. Well, anyway, the point is, I think everybody, the good thing is there's a lot of interest in the fan base. I don't think 15 months ago, I think the fan base was starting to get disinterested because it had gotten stale. But I think that everybody there's a lot of renewed interest, at least as far as I can tell.
Okay. Bob, thank you for the call.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Bob.
it.
All right, y'all have a good day.
You too. Brad Marchand is a loose cannon. Matthew Tkachuk is a loose cannon. But those guys turned out to be pretty darn good. They're going to be first ballot Hall of Famers. I'm just saying, I'm not saying Askarov's going to be, I'm just saying you can be a loose cannon and be special and elite.
Yes. Yes,
That's
you
all
can.
I'm saying. So, but do I think he is? Yes, I do think he's a loose cannon. All right, come back. We'll wrap up Tuesday's edition of the McFarland Show next.
Hey, Tennessee, Jeff Fisher here. Ready for edge-of-your-seat football action? The Nashville Cats are bringing it to you live.
I'm Eli Gold, and we promise you an electrifying experience with every play. Arena football is back. It's furious and full of fun. Join us for the greatest show on turf. Secure your tickets today at thenashvillecats.com and get ready to cheer for your Nashville Cats.
The Omaha Steaks semi-annual sale is here. Get 50% off site-wide and save on mouthwatering favorites today. Go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale, where you can load up on all the delicious flavor you crave at half the price. And when you use promo code SIZZLE at checkout, you'll get an extra $30 off your order. Save big on delicious, tender, juicy steaks, big, beefy burgers, and so much more. With Omaha Steaks, the possibilities are endless. Endless flavor and endless value. Every purchase is backed by their unconditional money-back guarantee. Simply go to omahasteaks.com and shop the semi-annual sale today. And don't forget to use promo code SIZZLE at checkout to get an extra $30 off your order. Hurry, because this deal won't last long. Kickstart your spring grilling today. That's omahasteaks.com. Promo code SIZZLE at checkout. Minimum purchase may apply.
Omaha Steaks, America's original butcher.
They say health is wealth, and I could not agree more. That's why if you or somebody in your life is living with everyday aches and pains, I want to tell you about Relief Factor. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that helps fight pain naturally. Naturally. Now that's a big deal. Developed by its doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of ingredients all work together to help support your body's response to inflammation. Instead of masking pain for a couple of hours, Relief Factor actually helps reduce or even eliminate your pain for good. Whether it's neck, back, joint, or muscle pain, if you're looking to feel better, live better, give Relief Factor a try. In 3 weeks, you will know if it's working because you'll feel it. I was sent Relief Factor for me to try. I've been taking it every single day, and I do feel the difference. Go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. Save on your first order. Don't let pain tell you how to live. Fight back naturally with Relief Factor. These products and statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Precision Pipe Coating is on the air, reminding all motorists to slow down in residential areas and in school zones. Never text and drive, and always designate a driver when celebrating. This message is courtesy of Precision Pipe Coating, serving Greater Lebanon and Middle Tennessee with quality and pride. For residential and commercial pipe repair experts with over a decade of experience, call Precision Pipe Coating today at 615-582-7962. 615-582-7962. That's Precision Pipe Coating, the professionals who care.
The Atlanta Braves are back with a loaded roster of young talent and some new faces in the A. It's going to be another wild season.
1-1 launch deep down the left field line. This might get out of here. Say goodbye to that one.
Tonight, be here for Atlanta Braves baseball from Truist Park as Orlando Arcia and the Braves take on the National League Central Chicago Cubs.
Pre-game coverage begins at 6:05 p.m. Live on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
You're listening live from the Strike and Spare Studios, downtown Music City. It's the McFarland Show.
Well, we're certainly getting a lot of activity this hour. I can say that. People wanted to talk about this subject for sure.
All right.
Pretty interesting. Our buddy Johnny, listening in Vancouver, says, OMG, Darren, if it's not for the long distance, I'd love to call in and set these people straight. Saros is a more proven commodity, yes, but a proven commodity that always starts the season slow. That's never changed. See what you can get for UC. Mike tweets that this was going back to when Alex was on and he was in the rainstorm on I-40. He says, hey, D-Mac, can we get another I-24 traffic update from you as well?
Flashback.
I don't know why I'm laughing. I hate 24. course, they blow it up.
You see this from Nate. Nate brings up an excellent point. Unknown is always undefeated.
Yeah.
That is an excellent point, Nate.
Yeah.
That, Nate, is tweet of the day for me, or text of the day, or whatever. That is true, sir. Truer words have not been spoken.
The NFL will release the schedule tomorrow night. We'll already know everything by then, I'm sure.
It's being slowly tweeted out one game at a time, leak after leak after leak.
By the time we take to the air tomorrow, we'll know
have a pretty
most
good idea.
of the schedule.
Yeah. And be able to fill in the rest.
All right, and have a great rest of your Tuesday. Bill Keane will get things started tomorrow at 6 a.m., followed by John Burton and Patton Cook from 9 to 11, and then we will be back on the air at 2 o'clock. Have a great day. We'll see you then.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
Jackson and John Harbaugh, and I go Sean McVay and